Hey guys, this is Eric Weingartner with Weingartner Racing. It's Saturday, so it's an update video, but today the most important part is I get to announce the winners of who guessed the horsepower and torque for the engine that got dynoed on Thursday. Now, because I didn't justify or specify in the first video how it was going to work, it's whoever guessed the closest horsepower on and torque for E85 methanol and gas would get a t-shirt. But since I didn't really mention which fuel you should probably specify on, what I did was the first person that got the closest or nailed right on won. So, and I say that because a lot of people actually guessed the correct torque on methanol, even though they maybe didn't specify methanol. But the first person that got it was the one that won. So here are the winners. Now these are their screen names, so I don't have a clue who you really are. So what you need to do is email me, and my email is weingartnerracing@gmail.com. so I can get your address and stuff. But here's who won. For 85 horsepower was a guy named Craig Resche, R-E-S-C-H-E. He guessed the 85 horsepower. The torque for meth, the first one, a lot of people guess this one. The screen name is Woody de Los Reyes. You won that one. And horsepower for gas was Doug Crosby. Torque for E85 was, his screen name is Hot Rod. So I don't know, I have a clue who you are. The torque for gas was a guy named Joe Gasper. And the horsepower, no one actually nailed the horsepower for methanol. All the rest were nailed. The horsepower for methanol was Fred Henke, H-A-N-T-K-E, I think. Anyway, if you guys just email me, weingartnerracing@gmail.com, and I will tell me your shirt size. Hopefully I have it in stock. If not, you might have to wait a little bit till I get another order in, but I promise that eventually you will get one. But I think I've got most anyway. So there's that. The video for that engine will come out tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to warn you straight up, because if you're watching this, you're a diehard guy for my channel anyway. The video is going to end up long because it's going to end up being me talking about how the dyno operates first, displaying why the difference in the dyno numbers. Then, of course, the dyno stuff. We made 10 pools. You get to see all 10 dyno sheets. It was pump gas, E85, methanol. I did do one timing change, different ignition box, and you'll get to hear all about that tomorrow. And then you can actually compare it also to the ET times that the truck ran. That is hopefully tomorrow, because I'm still doing, I got about half a video done. It really does take longer to do a video than what you think. Going on though, I want to show you this. Since I know some of you follow the S10 and you want to see how great its progress is or is not and has not been, yeah, it's a cool project. This water pump has been a disaster, okay? For those that haven't watched, on the dyno I used a Mazier pump. It turns out, because I finally figured out why, because I bought an identical one to that, would not fit with the torque storm belt. It would hit the belt. So in other words, it made contact here. Well, it turns out the reason why is because on the dyno it had a Mazier, like a 35 gallon per minute pump. That's not going to work for the street. So obviously that wouldn't work. Tried a CVR, wouldn't fit. So I went to a mechanical pump. Okay, now this is, I ordered a good one. This is a Stewart aluminum stage 2. Son of a bitch! That's all I gotta say. Because let me tell you, the pump itself's nice. It says if you modify it in any way, you voided the warranty. So yeah, I had to modify it because it wouldn't fit. So I voided the warranty. You might say, what are you talking about? Well, they made it more beefy. Okay, got to make it stronger, because I guess evidently it might be, maybe they use it on circle track stuff too. Although I don't know why they made it stronger in certain areas. So they made it stronger around here. But what happens is, this is the same cover, the pump actually makes contact right here because they made the whole flange here wider. So it actually contacts here. Now I'm going to say they sell tons of these covers and it's pretty common, right? So if you make a pump and you have a contact on, and circle track guys run this cover all the time too, it's probably a manufacturer defect. But anyway, I had to grind so it would clear. So it actually now does clear. So I was like, yay, pump fits. Now I can check to see if there's any pulleys that will work. So I ordered this one. It actually does, as you could tell, clear the belt. I was like, awesome. Except for now, watch real closely, guys. I'm just gonna give it a little spin. Now this is a stamped steel one. As you could tell, stock, it's got a wobble. So I got a nice billet aluminum one. It's a bigger diameter though, and that's right, hits the belt. Won't work. Super frustrating. And some of you are like, you should do a remote mount. I thought about it, I really did, except for there's one problem, the alternator. The alternator still needs to be mounted. So I got to run it. So if you look at, just doing this for example, if the alternator bracket was like this, which would work and would fit, I couldn't get a water fitting in here to tighten. So that won't work, the remote one. I have to have an alternator. So that was pretty frustrating. But dig this, a customer, or not really a customer, a viewer actually sent me stuff. And I was like, oh, this might be the solution. And he sent me a lot of stuff. You know how many people say, oh, we'll send you stuff, and then they never do. This guy legit did. So he sent me this remote mount. This is that little cog belt, right? And he sent me the motor that goes with it. And I'm super happy, right? So this is a stock pump, just to give you an idea. Stock GM one. I was like, super, what I could do is, you know, when I'm racing it, I will just take off that pump, that one belt that runs the water pump, and I'll just slide this on. Whoa, let's see what I mean. Well, again, this damn pump. So when I put that on, because Stuart made the pump thicker, it makes contact with the cog. It won't go. It actually hits. So no, you can't run a remote mount with this. He also sent a short aluminum pump. I'm still thinking about trying to maybe mock that up, but then my bet is none of the belts will line. So when I'm running it normally, it won't work. The frustrations. I'm sure other of you guys know all this. If you've been doing engines or cars long enough, you realize nothing fits. Anyway, thanks for watching. Look for tomorrow's video. It should be good. You guys take care.